Wildin' out like a sucker, no way.
Ball State was founded in 1918 by the Ball brothers, who bought the campus and donated it to Indiana State to become a school. To get into Ball State, you need a 3.5 GPA. It has a 64.8 acceptance rate, and you can live on campus there. It has a lot of courses, but it's mainly known for its business courses, nursing courses, journalism, marketing, and telecommunication courses. Each year, there are more than 4,500 students choose Ball State to go to for their college.
Okay, why did you pick Ball State?
I picked Ball State because I was originally born in Indiana, and we moved to Florida when I was 6, and I was super tired of the weather and just wanted a change in scenery. So my family still lived, my brother still lived in Indiana, so I decided to get a change of pace, so I went to Ball State and lived with him for my freshman year. Plus, I had also made connections with the softball coach at Ball State to play softball.
Ooh. What was your favorite part about this college?
Ball State is great because it's not a small campus and it's diverse, but it's just big enough. So it's not one to where you get lost. You can get where you're going. You have businesses, restaurants, things to do close enough. You have people from all over. So it just kind of seemed like the right fit.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved in your college?
So being a student athlete, there was really not a lot of time to do anything outside of softball. We had a fall season, and then during the winter, we had 2 or 3 months off. And then we started spring early because our first game was out of state on spring break. So college spring breaks are always before our spring breaks here at Northview. And so colleges up north always go south because of the weather. And so you just, you play, you have your summer off, you play through May, depending on how far you make it. And then you have your summer off, but you have workouts or you go home or you take classes. So you spend your free time generally with your teammates. Hopefully you like everybody and everyone gets along, and studying. You have to build a schedule to where all of our classes had to be finished by noon because we were expected to be at the trainer by 12, 1 o'clock. And then we always had practice, and then you had to go back to the trainer. As freshman, sophomore, you were in study tables from 7 to 9, 2 days a week, usually at the library or another place. So you didn't have a lot of the extra free time to be in clubs and different groups like that, but people did. But that was usually your cohort, is the group and the teammates that you had.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
And we all got along, which was great. So it made it much easier because you traveled together. We generally lived together. We had, after freshman year, we had my parents bought a house on campus in Muncie, and my roommates were the girls on my team. And so there were about 4 groups in different houses or apartments. So yeah, we spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Make a lot of friends.
It was.
What did you major in Ball State?
So I started, I knew I wanted to help people. I wanted to do something in the service community, and I wanted to help kids. So I started with psychology. I wanted to be a counselor and help kids that were struggling and help families that were struggling. So when I started the path in psychology, if you graduate with a psychology major, you also have to do something with it, or you have to get extra, you have to go and have more classes to be certified to do something. So you have all these extra hours. So there were like 30 extra hours that I had to put towards something. So my athletic advisor encouraged me to go into teaching, that I could double major, and rather than just take a bunch of classes that weren't focused towards an area, we could fill that with education. So that was a pretty easy decision. The tough decision came with what I wanted to teach, and being very honest and using one of my very favorite words, transparency. I was not great at math. I went and took math in high school until, that last class you have to take, I think maybe as a junior, and then I was out of math, junior or senior, I don't even remember. And then English is not my forte, not really big there. Science was never in my wheelhouse of interest, so that left me with social studies. And my dad and I used to watch a lot of war shows, documentaries. He was a big history buff, and I picked social studies. Not really the greatest database decision, but I jumped both feet in and was a social studies teacher at Eastwood when I first started.
Wow.
So that was a double major, psychology, teaching, and then you have a minor. When you go to college, you choose a minor, and my minor was counseling psychology.
All right. Okay, thank you.
You are very welcome.
Why did you pick Ball State to go to Ball State? Why did you pick?
I picked to go to Ball State University because I wanted to be a teacher. I knew that going in, and so it's very well known for its teachers college. And also I came from a smaller school, not like North Central where you all are going to go. I was in a much smaller school, so I wanted a smaller campus.
Okay. What was your favorite part about the college?
I tried to get involved in as much as I could, and so I think being involved in so many different things helped me to organize everything that I had to complete during the week, and to make sure that I was not only keeping up with academics, which was why I was there, but I was also able to have a social life. And so I think that helped then when I went into the real world with the organization and time management skills I learned.
Okay. So how did you get involved in your college? Like, what activities did you do?
I did so many different things. I had something every day of the week. So I volunteered, and because I volunteered for so long, then I was in charge of other volunteers, and I was in a teaching club, I was in a sorority, I did a Bible study, I went to a lot of different events on campus, and so I just try to get involved as much as I could to stay busy, and again, to help me with meeting as many people as I could and working that network for then future endeavors.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Okay. What did you major in, at Ball State?
So I was in education. I was an elementary education major, and then I had a minor in math, which is why I teach middle school.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Indiana State. Indiana State University is located in Terre Haute. It opened December of 1865. It has a 90% acceptance rate and 36% graduation rate. In order to get accepted, you must have at least a 3.6 GPA. Some common scholarships include academic excellence, incentive scholarships, and engineering scholarships. The SAT scores must be between 460 to 570 in reading and writing, and in math 450 to 500. They have over 100 arts and science programs like art with history, automotive technology, automotive control engineering technology, and more.
Why did you pick I chose Indiana State University because it was very flexible and close to where I live, right? So those are the two main rates, the proximity and the flexibility of the schedule.
Okay. What was your favorite part about the college?
My favorite part was my classmates because they're all local educators like me. And some of them I had known and some of them I were getting to know. So it was really nice to start to know people in the area who were in my same program at school.
How did you get involved in your college? Like, what did you take up while you were there?
I wasn't in a lot of clubs, but I did have like study sessions with other classmates because we had something called qualifying exams. So we would get together and study. And we also had like a conference that we helped, not really to organize, but we kind of helped put it together. We had to present. And so those are the types of things that I did while I was there.
Okay. What did you major in?
So I majored in education at Indiana State University. That's where I got my PhD, a doctorate.
That's all. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Hi, are you looking for great colleges and great scholarship opportunities? Well, I have a college for you, Butler University. If you're interested in music or any type of that kind of stuff, then they have a great theater program and a great music program if you're interested in any instruments or violin or viola or any instruments that you want to go far in. And they just have a great study abroad if you want to go out and see the world. They have a great program for that, and there's lots of scholarship opportunities if you don't feel like you can afford it. And Butler has a great percentage rate for you to get in, so start thinking about your colleges, Falcons.
I'm so happy that you can make it, first of all. And the first question is, why did you choose to go to Butler in the first place?
So I was unsure where I wanted to go to school to start. Grew up in Knox, Indiana, which is a very small farming town and up north of us, about 2 hours from here. And I would say maybe 20 to 30% of kids attended college. So it was something that I was unsure about. My sister had attended Butler prior to me. So I was familiar with the university, and that was one of the first things that drew me to Butler. And then I had randomly watched Butler on television a couple of times through basketball, and had kind of heard about the university. So then as I started learning more about the university, I learned it was a liberal arts school and it was a private institution that offered some different programs and some different things that I was interested in. So kind of did my research and kind of went from there. But I definitely had trouble selecting between a couple of different schools, but ultimately I think probably what led me that way was just knowing that I'd have a family member in Indianapolis, with my sister being there, which made me feel really comfortable to go to Indianapolis.
Yeah. That's a good reason to go to Butler. What was your favorite part about Butler? What are your experience there?
Oh man, I loved my experience at Butler, pretty much all of it. There are a couple of highlights. I had the opportunity during the time that I was there to travel to back-to-back national championship basketball games and kind of go through that tournament series, which was a lot of fun. And I met my wife kind of during that timeline, so that was definitely a highlight. I would say the other part was I was a fraternity brother in Sigma Nu fraternity, which the brotherhood and the friendships that you build through that fraternity, that Greek system process was something that I'll always cherish.
Yeah. So one of the last questions is, what did you major at this college?
Yeah, so I started off as a biology major at Butler and a with a dual chemistry major. I ultimately added secondary education onto my degree. So I ended up graduating with a couple of majors per se, but I practiced using my secondary education and biology degrees primarily as I went out and taught right after I graduated from Butler. So I graduated from both the College of Education and the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences with my science degree and then my education degree.
Thank you so much for doing this interview, and I hope that people who watch this get inspired of what Butler can do and what a great college it is. So thank you so much once again.
Go Bulldogs. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hello. Thank you for volunteering to be interviewed for College Go Week. And we'll be asking beautiful questions for you about your college experience and why you went to this college. So first, why did you pick Butler in the first place out of all the colleges?
Well, actually, I was on my way to audition for Ball State, and then I had a bass lesson with the bass teacher at Butler. His name is Mr. Murray, and I loved him so much that I decided I really wanted to go to Butler. And I love Indianapolis as well, and the Butler campus is just so beautiful. So that's what really got me there, and that's why I ended up at Butler and here.
That's a really crazy way to go to college, because usually people have planned out, but things not. So, what did you major at this college that you would recommend to others?
I majored in music education, and it's instrumental, so I learned all the instruments, and I focus on teaching orchestra instruments as well. You can also major in vocal music education, where you teach choir, or elementary music education, where you teach elementary music. It's all really fun, and it's a great music program at Butler.
That's what I've heard, but I want to hear it firsthand.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of this college that you went to? Out of everything at this college, out of all the programs and stuff, what would you think was your favorite part?
My favorite part would definitely have to be the professors and the friends that I met. My professors are people that I still talk to now, and I only graduated about 3 years ago, but I consider them to be my friends now, and we're really close. And the friends I made that are my age are people that I'm gonna know forever. I consider them my closest friends. So that would definitely be the best part of Butler, besides getting a really well-rounded education.
Wow, I feel it's more about the journey you take in college than the destination.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
So, did you do any study abroad at Butler or anything?
I did a short summer program for a music history class where we went to Paris, France for about a month. And I just took one class there, and we kind of related everything we were seeing in Paris to the class we were taking. It was amazing. But I know that Butler has one of the best study abroad programs in the country. So that's a really good opportunity to seize.
Yeah. So if you're interested in seeing the world, it's a really good opportunity to see it.
Yes.
Well, that should wrap it up, though. Thank you so much for taking your time and to do this interview. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was fun.
We will now start the program. Hi, I'm a person who wants to go to college. And if you want to go to college, check out this segment, because it's going to be a great one. Did you know that IU has a 77% acceptance rate, and they have a 76% graduation rate? They also have amazing alumni that went there, like Mark Cuban, Booker T. Jones, and my mom. Okay, what's our relation?
You're my daughter.
What year did you go to IU?
I went to IU in 1980.
What did you major in?
I majored in pre-med, and then I eventually switched to business.
Did you live on campus, and how did you get around?
I did live on campus. I lived in Briscoe and then a few years in Teeter as a resident assistant. 1 year I did stay in an apartment. I got around campus walking, riding the bus. I had a car, but I really didn't get around campus so much with my car.
Why did you choose IU?
I chose IU because my sister went to IU. It's one of the great schools in the country, and they had a wonderful pre-med program.
If you could go back in time, would you still go to IU?
I would still go to IU.
What's your fondest memory of IU?
My fondest memory was when we were in the NCAA basketball tournament. Everyone got together for all the games. When we won, there was a campus-wide celebration, and it was a great time.
Is there anything you regret about IU?
I regret not sticking with being a pre-med major. I wish that I had tried harder to find the resources that I needed and the support so that I could handle some of the what they call flunk out courses.
What is your favorite college?
My favorite college is IU in Bloomington.
Is there anything you want to say to future viewers?
I would say believe in yourself. Have confidence in what it is that you know that you're able to do. Get the knowledge, get the support and the encouragement that you need. Don't be afraid to try something new and different, and always hold on to those that you love, because they're the ones that are going to get you through.
Did you know that they also offer 550 plus academic programs and 200 plus majors? So you can major in law, science, social studies, math, whatever you want. So they have 200 plus. They also have great restaurants around their campus. They have like D'Angelo's, BJ's Brewhouse, and Mama Bear's. I personally went to Mama Bear's, and their pepperoni pizza is 10 out of 10. They also have a requirement of a SAT score of 1150, but again, that's 77% acceptance rate. But if you're worried about money for college, you can apply for one of Indiana's amazing scholarships, like 21st Century Scholars, ESA Youth Program, and the INCPA Educational Foundation Program, or the Lilly Empowerment Community Scholarship Program. So, if you love IU as much as I do, check out this school.
Purdue University is a research college located in West Lafayette. The university was founded in 1869, and the businessman John Purdue donated money and land to start a college that specialized in science, technology, and agriculture that was named after him. The first buildings on campus include the Boiler and Gas House, the Military Hall and Gymnasium, the Ladies Hall, Purdue Hall, and the Pharmacy Building. They were all built in 1874, and sadly they are not there anymore. Archives and Special Collections, Elliott Hall of Music, and Armstrong Hall of Engineering. Those are only 3 of the buildings standing there today. They also are one of the 7% of the U.S. colleges that have an LGBT community center. The Armstrong Hall of Engineering is named after Neil Armstrong. He was known for being one of the first people on the moon. He is only one of the 23 astronauts to go to Purdue. Virgil Gus Grimson, Eugene Cernan, and Roger Chafe are the others. Purdue is also a college that taught Orville Redenbacher, creator of Orville Popcorn, Drews Brees, a football player, and Julie Wainwright, the CEO of Real Real. They have 6 scholarships: National Hispanic Scholarships, National Merit Scholarships, Purdue Promise, Marquis Scholarship, Presidential Scholarship, and the Trustee Scholarship. All these scholarships have different criteria you have to meet to apply to them.
They're all different, but they all help you. Purdue also has many fun traditions. One of the most fun traditions is having the big bass drum, which is the biggest drum in the world. Another fan tradition is the Old Oaken Bucket Trophy, which goes back and forth from Indiana University and Purdue University. There's also a thing called the Hello Walk. The Hello Walk has 2 plaques, one by the University Hall and the other by the Stewart Center. While you're on the walk, you are supposed to say hi and smile to everyone you see. They also have traditions like the Boilermaker Special, the Grand Prix, Hail Purdue, Gold and Black, and of course the nickname Boilermaker. There are many other opportunities that Purdue gives you. They also have learning abroad opportunities.
What was your favorite tradition?
My favorite tradition. Purdue has a lot of traditions. It's an old school. I think one of my favorites, though, was at the football game. Every time Purdue scored, you would do push-ups for what the score was. And so there would be a line of people doing push-ups, but in the stands, you would take people and push them up. And I thought that was just a fun tradition. If you weren't a Purdue student, you would probably look and go, what are they doing?
Did you do a sport? And if you did, why did you like it?
I did a sport. I was on the rowing team my freshman through senior year. I liked it. I was always in athletics before college, and so I really liked the opportunity to continue participating on a team. It was really challenging, and that's also what I liked about it. It was a unique sport. I had never rowed before, so I enjoyed learning something new. And yeah, I mean, being a collegiate athlete was really unique. We were not NCAA. Purdue is the only NCAA college that doesn't have NCAA rowing. But that's also what I liked about it, because there wasn't that same level of pressure. I don't know, there was just something different about it. We had a different vibe on the team. We still worked really hard. We participated in the same competitions, but we got to connect in a different way. And I still keep up with all my friends from the team.
Why did you choose Purdue?
I struggled to figure out what I wanted to do after high school. I had a lot of interests and I wasn't sure how to narrow it down. So Purdue actually had a little fair that they brought to a hotel that I lived by, and you could just walk around and see all the majors. And I just really fell in love with the major I chose, and I came to find out that so many of my relatives went to Purdue too, so it was kind of a family at the end.
That's pretty cool. How did Purdue change your life?
Oh man, I mean, for the better, for sure. The level of discipline that Purdue instills in all of its graduates has stuck with me forever. So not just from the rowing team, but in my classwork as well, the attention to detail, and just that constant mode of discovery. I think Purdue does a really fantastic job with its graduates of just building that interest in learning more and exploring new ways to do things. And I think that has also stuck with me.
Thank you. Those are all my questions.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the thing about me is I went to a lot of different colleges. So the one that meant the most to me in terms of my growth and development was Tuskegee. I went to Tuskegee University right after high school, and I loved it. Tuskegee is a historically Black college. It's one of the HBCUs, and it's in the Deep South. It's in Alabama.
What was your favorite part of the college?
Well, my favorite part of the college, I have to say, was my friends. And I spent a lot of time with my friends, and so we'd hang out and things like that. Actually, my freshman year, I didn't do very well, so I had to get serious if I wanted to stay in school and really make sure that I was getting my work done, because I studied engineering at Tuskegee, and I was able to make sure that I was focused and began studying so that I could stay there.
How did you get involved in music?
How did I get involved? Okay, so I had a number of organizations. We had a mechanical engineering honor society called Pi Tau Sigma. So I was in Pi Tau Sigma. I was in a sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha, and then I was also in different organizations around campus, like service-oriented. We put on one conference when I was there. So just a number of little things like that.
What did you major in?
I majored in mechanical engineering.
Today, I'm in the middle of the more than 6,000 students on Southern University's campus in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and the vast majority of them are Black. It's a scene that used to be unimaginable because access to higher education was virtually non-existent for Black people in the U.S. before historically Black colleges and universities, also known as HBCUs. Congress officially defines an HBCU as a school established before 1964 whose principal mission was and is the education of Black Americans. And unlike what Education Secretary Betsy DeVos has said, these schools didn't start as pioneers for school choice. Let's be clear, there was no choice. HBCUs became prevalent after the Civil War, and they were dedicated to meeting the needs of the newly freed African American population. Southern University was one of those schools, and the nation's first Black governor, PBS Pinchback, founded it in 1880. Like the majority of HBCUs, Southern University is located in the southeastern United States.
I went to Spelman College. I went to Howard University.
I went to Coppin State University.
I went to Xavier University.
I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C.
I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood my whole life.
I was always like 1 out of 3 Black people in every class. I didn't really love me because I was comparing myself to the girls around me.
Well, my high school counselor told me I wasn't smart enough to go to college. Not even being told go to community college, no, I was straight told to go to the military. They were one of the schools that gave me a chance.
I took a trip to Howard when I was in 8th grade, and as soon as I stepped on campus, I was like, this is the place that I need to be.
My favorite thing about going to an HBCU, it was so many beautiful Black faces. I've never seen that many Black faces that were all beautiful and unique in their own right.
You had sisters there, you had brothers there, people who felt like your cousins, and teachers and professors who felt like your mom and your dad. And there are so many different nationalities and so many different ethnicities that make it what it is.
It was just so nice to be around other little Black girls, and we were like this big Black girl cohort of like 500 students just being amazing and doing all these amazing things, and it was something that I'd never seen before.
I never thought that I would be around different people from different places and we would all still connect in the same way.
I had a friend who was a Black, gay, conservative Republican, and I would have never had that experience anywhere else.
It's all just a big, loving, melting pot of people.
It's the history and the foundation that you learn, not only as a person, but as the African American community itself. You're so enriched with knowledge.
I think I learned everything about myself and about my history and my past from going to an HBCU, and I don't think I could have gotten that at a PWI.
I think that if you can succeed in that environment, then you can succeed in any environment.
I love my HBCU because we hold each other down. We are a big family.
I love my HBCU strictly because of the community.
I love my HBCU because of the sisterhood.
There's no other place where I can go and look around and see all of these beautiful, wonderful Black women doing all of these amazing things.
I love my HBCU because it is the Mecca.
I love the culture, I love the history, I love the people.
I learned to love me.
My name is Natai Crutcher-White, and I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I formerly attended Westland Middle School. I chose to come to an HBCU because campus feels like home, and there's a sense of inclusion everywhere you go. My experience so far has been really great. A lot of the people are really nice, and I'm never behind in classes. The teachers give a lot of great advice, and they put a lot of input and effort into their work.
Hi, my name is Cron Wallace. I chose Morehouse College because it is a unique university that offers a 4-year education to African American males only. It was the most unusual place I've ever been in and was transformative for my entire life. I love my experience. It's one of the best decisions I ever made in my entire life, and there's something unique and beautiful about being in a place of higher learning with only African American males.
Hi, my name is Jayla. I go to the Kentucky State University. I chose the HBCU because I wanted to be somewhere where I wasn't the minority anymore. My experience has been great. My first tip is just to get involved. If you're not involved, your experience will not be what you want it to be.
Hi, my name is Victor Newsom. I'm a school counselor at North Central High School, formerly a Northview school counselor. I'm a proud graduate of the Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio. I chose to go to Central State University because it was a smaller HBCU, and it provided me with teachers who actually knew who I was. They knew if I didn't attend classes, they were on me about classes. It gave me basically one-on-one learning experiences with the teachers, and it made me build character and made me a better person. So choose an HBCU.
My name is Jesselyn Jackson. I'm from Ellenwood, Georgia. The reason why I chose this HBCU is because it builds character, and my experience here has been great.
Hello, my name is Demetrius Young, and I am from Dayton, Ohio. I came to Kentucky State University so I can feel like a family, and it feels like a family. Like your first couple of days that you come here, you'll love it. Like you'll want to go home. You'll probably want to go home like the first 3 days, but after that you won't want to go home. And I just feel like it's so many opportunities. Like you can get engaged, you can have connections with your teachers, you can network if they teach you about networking in middle school. And it is a good experience to come to a HBCU.
My name is Sydney Spite. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. A tip about college, I would say study. Learn how to study. Go to class and just do your best. And I chose a HBCU because I wanted to be around people that understood me and understood the struggles that I go through.
HBCU graduates are twice as likely to be satisfied in their work, have greater community involvement, and they even vote more frequently, according to Brian Bridges of the United Negro College Fund.
HBCUs provides support to the students who need it the most, even though they have the least amount of resources to help those students succeed.